Hey, good morning and welcome to your yoga practice. So I suspected something and I went on an internet research wormhole and I was correct that people fall off of their healthy habits this time of year. Statistically, the majority of Americans, it seems like, take a little dip in their health, wellness, fitness, and healthy food diet. So, with that in mind, I'm offering a discount for anyone who wants to stick with mindful mornings in November and December. There's a ticket available where we can do a class bundle and it saves you $20. So it's $100 for the 2 months. And it also enters you in a drawing to enter the January Yoga Challenge for free. Yay. So I'll send that out in the email, but I just wanted to give a little shout out to it. Okay, let us arrive. Please find your comfortable seat. And as you arrive, you can take whatever movement your body is asking for. Take a few full breaths. And start noticing that you are here right now. You might notice the energy of the moment. Or maybe here you consider what sort of energy you'd like to cultivate moving into the weekend. Halloween weekend. Any particular things that brings up? Maybe we can consider it an opportunity to transform into something other than ourselves. What would that look like? And if you'd like to chant Om, let's draw our hands together in front of our hearts. Inhale deeply for Om. Release your hands to your legs. Breathing deeply, sit really tall, lifting the crown of your head towards the sky. And when you exhale, drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And stay here for a breath or two. Soft jaw, heavy, relaxed shoulders. Breathing, bring your head back to neutral and drop your head to the other side. Still breathing. Big breath in, head to neutral. Exhale, chin towards chest. Stay for a few breaths. And lift your head, lift your gaze. You might scoot your feet away from you a bit and we'll draw our big circles, slowly inhaling your heart forwards and exhaling it back. And as you draw these big circles, I'll share our quote. The quote today, I gathered it from the Embrace Yoga's Roots book by Susanna Barkati. It's from the Mukanda Upanishads, sacred texts. Holding the great bow of yogic wisdom, the aspirant should fix the arrow of mind, sharpened with meditation, on its target. Draw the string with full absorption and shoot at the target. My friend, remember, immutable eternal truth alone is the target. Switch directions of your circles, and I will reread that. Holding the great bow of yogic wisdom, the aspirant should fix the arrow of mind, sharpened with meditation, on its target. Draw the string with full absorption and shoot at the target. My friend, remember, immutable, eternal truth alone is the target. Maybe I should rethink the joke of transforming ourselves into someone other than who we are for Halloween. Truth is the target. Return to neutral. Lean back on your hips. Now, if you're on a blanket, you might need to scoot off, but maybe you can catch a little air. Again, trying our floating Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet together. holding your ankles for support as you seek balance. A breath or two like this, keeping your heart lifted. One more breath. Maybe you bring the feet higher up and return your feet and legs to earth. Come to stand on your knees, just moving through these postures quickly. You might want to pad your knees. You might want to bring blocks to the back corners of your mat, but we won't be here long. Passing through our Ardha Mandalasana, our half circle poses. So hands on hips, sink your low back and your spine, your tailbone drawing towards the earth as your crown lifts to the sky. Breathe, start to carry the weight into your left leg as you send your right leg long. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over towards your long leg. You might drop your bottom arm, or maybe you keep both lifted. Another breath like this. And exhale, slowly cartwheel your arms, bringing your, I think I mirrored you, your left hand to the mat. Right arm up overhead, press your hips forward. Notice if you've lost connection of the foot in your extended leg. Another big breath here. And cartwheel yourself back up, fold over to gate pose. And return to stand on your knees. Steady yourself for a breath or two, lifting your front hip points towards your heart, sinking your tailbone towards the earth. Carry the weight into your right leg. Send your left leg long. As you're ready, reach your arms up overhead. Breathe, and on an exhale, fold over towards your extended long leg. You might imagine pressing your hips forwards a bit, maybe even pivoting your hips towards your bent knee. One more breath. And on an exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Find yourself into Ardha Mandalasana. Just a couple of breaths here, taking the opportunity to really stretch the length of your body. Anchor your grounded foot into the earth while you reach your lifted fingertips overhead. When you're ready, on an inhale, cartwheel yourself back up. Fold over to Parigasana gate pose. After a breath, lift up. Come to stand on your knees. Return to facing the top of your mat if you pivoted. Back to our hips we go, planting our feet, hands back behind us. Engage your core muscles as you draw your elbows towards each other. Shoulder blades hug the spine. You can stay here if this is enough. Maybe you press your feet into the earth, float your hips off of the mat. You might just float the hips a couple of inches off of the mat as you engage your core. Maybe you lift your hips higher. Maybe you find a full half reverse plank, Ardha Purvottanasana. You might keep your chin towards your chest, or maybe you drop your head back. Breathe deeply. See if you can lift your heart up out of your shoulders. One more breath. And on an exhale, return your hips to the earth. Hi, Toby. Rest your arms on your knees. Sit tall with an inhale. When you exhale, you might allow your spine to round. Maybe you drop your chin towards your chest. Maybe you take a couple neck rolls here for the next breath or two. Inhale to re-lengthen the spine. Swing your legs around and make your way into tabletop. Attention to your foundation. So notice how your hands meet the earth. Spread your fingers wide. Bring the thumbs in about halfway. Grip with your fingertips. Hug the navel up towards the spine. Try to drag your knees towards your hands. Feel all of that core engagement. Keep it as you carry the weight into your right hand, lifting your left hand towards the sky. Stay for a breath. And on an exhale, core engaged, thread the needle. Stay for a breath. With an inhale, press into your right hand, send your left hand to the sky. Exhale, set your left hand down. Try to drag your knees towards your hands. Again, there's our core engagement. Keep it as you carry the weight into your left hand and reach your right hand to the sky. Breathe. And then thread the needle. Stay for a breath. Press into your left hand. Rise up. Breathe. Exhale your right hand back to the earth. Again, we try to drag our knees towards our hands. Feel how that engages your muscles. On an inhale, cow, drop your belly, shoulder blades hug, looking up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Go ahead and tuck your toes as you're ready. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, and then downward facing dog. Floating your knees off of the earth, sending your hips high. Take any movement that feels good to you. 3 to 5 breaths in downward facing dog. You might shake out your head. Maybe nod your head yes if you shook it no. One more breath. See about melting your heart back towards your thighs. Push the ground away. On an inhale, look forward between your hands, and exhale, step yourself to the top of your mat. Hang heavy. I'm regretting not finding a ponytail holder before class. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Cousin Knit. I'll be Cousin Knit for Halloween. Inhale, rise up and refocus perhaps. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, core engaged, fold forward, intentionally long spine all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold, fingertips land on the earth, step your right foot way back in space. Pause here. I always like this moment of pause in the high runner's lunge, really stretching the top of the right hip flexor. Another big breath. Exhale, lower your right knee. You can tuck or untuck the toes. Inhale, reach up to the sky. You might draw circles with your wrists. Maybe you climb that imaginary rope. One more breath. Release your hands to the earth and straighten your left leg, walking your fingertips back in space. Left toes on the earth to start. Imagine dragging your left hip back in space. See if you can notice a stretch on the top of your left foot and ankle. And maybe you peel your toes off of the earth for the next breath or two, flexing your ankle, still drawing the left hip back in space, lengthening your spine as best you can. Breathe. And bend your left knee, plant your hands, step yourself back into plank pose. Now you have the option always of child's pose. We'll explore Vashisthasana, side plank. You can lower your right knee and pivot yourself into a half side plank in that way. Or perhaps today you keep your knees lifted, bring your feet together and pivot onto the blade edge of your right foot. I like to bring my left hand to my side body and kind of imagine lifting it in that way. And then maybe the top arm floats to the sky. Looking straight down might give you a greater sense of stability. Imagine lifting your heart. Breathe. One more cycle. And lower your left hand, pivot back to plank. We'll all drop our knees and sink our hips. Find Balasana, child's pose. It might feel good to rest your arms by your sides, a true child's pose, surrendering here. And as you're ready, re-extend your arms. Take a good stretch here, walking your fingertips to the top of the mat in child's pose, and then eventually rising up, tucking the toes and finding downward facing dog. Inhale to look forwards and exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise up. Reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, fingertips touch down, left foot steps way back in space. Pause here in your high runner's lunge. Press back through your left foot. Notice the front of your left hip. One more breath, and then lower your left knee. Inhale, lift the torso, float the arms to the sky. As we settle into our low Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge, you might crawl up that rope side to side, reaching your arms to the sky. Maybe you prefer just to draw circles with your wrists, or maybe you are steady and still in focus mode. Another big breath like this. Exhale, release your hands to the earth. Straighten your right leg as you walk your fingertips back in space. Right toes connected to the ground for this moment. Try to drag your right hip back in space. Lengthen your spine. Notice the top of your right foot. Maybe you're noticing muscles that you've never really paid attention to before here. As we breathe, we can peel the right toes off of the earth. One more breath. And bend into your right knee, walk your hands forward, plant your hands and step yourself back into plank pose. Again, you've got options. You can always take a break in child's pose. You can explore half plank, or you can come with me bringing your feet together and then rocking onto the left blade edge of your left foot, finding Vashisthasana, side plank. You might bring your right hand to your left rib cage and kind of help lift in that way. You might imagine you're leaning back in space as you lift your right fingertips to the sky. Looking down might give you more stability. We're really actively pushing the ground away here, so there's like a hollowness in the left armpit. One more slow, steady breath. Breathing now, we release our right hand to the earth. Drop your knees, send your hips back. Child's pose. 3 breaths here. And as you're ready, extend your arms overhead, take a good spinal stretch. Then lift your hips, tuck your toes, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. A couple more breaths. Can you let your head hang more heavy? On an inhale, lift your right heel to the sky, 3-legged dog. Look forward. Exhale, step or swing the right foot to the top of the mat. Step your left foot out and up. Long spine, totally engaged core. Slowly lift up, finding your warrior one. Take your time settling in. You might need to adjust your feet. Inhale for length here. Exhale, twist your torso to the right any amount and open your arms up. You can let your arms come straight out of your shoulders. So you might be more of a star shape than being on the railroad tracks. Inhale, return to warrior one. And tilt your torso towards parallel to the earth, exploring Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 again this week. So we're balancing on the right foot, and maybe that looks like just barely floating the left toes off of the earth. Maybe you're able to stand all the way into it. Maybe you have a strategically placed couch to support you. Wherever you go, keep both legs actively engaged. You might imagine that you're standing in Tadasana mountain pose. Couple more breaths, just noticing what comes up, noticing what's available today, and working with it, whatever it is. Accepting the truth of the moment. Inhale and exhale. We'll set the left foot down, reach the hands to the sky. And when you're ready, hands to earth, step yourself back to plank pose. Option to go right into downward facing dog or even child's pose, or if you'd like to flow through Chaturanga Dandasana, imagine spiraling your biceps to the front of the mat. Inhale forward on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower halfway and hover. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple more breaths like this. Can you imagine spiraling your inner upper thighs towards each other and then back to the sky behind you? Breathe deeply as you slowly lift your left heel to the sky, three-legged dog. Look forwards and exhale, step or swing the left foot to the top of the mat. Step your right foot up and out a bit. Engage your core, long spine. As you're ready, inhale, rise up and find warrior one. Adjust your feet, adjust your stance until you feel steady in Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale for length, core muscles engaged. Exhale, twist open to your left. You might open your arms out, straight out of your shoulders. Breathe. Inhale, return to neutral. Breathing here, we start to tilt our torso towards parallel to the earth, floating the right toes off of the earth any amount. And as you're able to, start sending equal energy into both legs. Imagine you're standing in mountain pose with both legs. Breathe deeply. So much focus and coordination and effort is happening here. However it's going well because you're showing up. One more breath. And as you're ready, slowly return the right foot to the earth, reaching fingertips to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, lower your arms and step to the top of your mat. Tadasana, mountain pose. You might bring your hands over your heart here. Maybe noticing the reality of the moment, whatever that means to you. Maybe you can notice your heart beating under your hands. Maybe you can feel how the breath expands your body and then contracts it. You might notice how the belly expands and contracts like a balloon. Maybe you can get a sense of your tailbone anchoring down towards the earth, your strong legs supporting you, your feet connected to the ground as we walk. Another breath. And release your hands. Slowly drop your seat to the ground. Plant your feet, lift your heart. Maybe you catch a little air here. You can bring your thighs together and explore Navasana if that's calling you today, or perhaps you just hover, catching a little bit of balance. One more breath wherever you've gone. We return our feet to the earth and roll all the way back onto our spines. When you get there, open your arms out like a cactus or a T. Cross your right leg over your left leg. You can pick up and scoot your hips to the right a bit. Inhale to draw your legs about halfway in towards your chest. And exhale, legs fall off to the left side. Reclined spinal twist. Another breath. And then guide your legs back to neutral. Unwind them. Neutralize your hips. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Pick up and shift your hips to the left. Legs in towards your chest. Big breath here. And exhale, let the legs fall off to the right side. As we breathe, notice where you're feeling sensation. Maybe you can become aware of your bottom hip and how it meets the earth. Another breath. Slowly unwind, returning yourself to neutral. You might hug yourself into a little ball if that feels good to you, and rock side to side. If you like any other postures to close this 30-minute practice. And as you're ready, head heavy, legs and arms long, or make your way into your favorite version. We'll take our resting posture, Shavasana. Maybe today you rest both hands on your low belly. Wherever you've gone, breathe deeply. As you breathe here, you might invite in that Ujjayi pranayam, the ocean sounding breath. Gently begin to wake your body up again. Knowing that you can always let this ending portion of practice take as long as you'd like. I'll invite you to go ahead and join me if you're ready to close your practice. Join me in an easy seated posture. And with your hands together in front of your heart, take a couple of breaths, just allowing a moment of grounding here. A moment of acknowledging a month of practice is coming to a close with this practice. And a fresh month awaits us. Inhale deeply if you'd like to chant Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.